Hello there, my Leo Collective. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh my goodness. Leos, your energy always comes up like a stopgap. It's kind of interesting with you. So, what's sort of resonating with you? What isn't? There's so much that you need to, I don't know, focus on the right thing instead of the wrong things right now. Easier said than done. But some of you, there's a lot of distractor vibes. It's like a mind the gap. So some of you could almost feel like there's a little bit of something missing. There's like some sort of emptiness there. But you need to mind that gap. So definitely don't... Now's not the time to go down that fucking rabbit hole, Leos. For fuck's sake, it's not the time. So what's the energy here? Two of Cups. Friendships, relationships, partnerships. Two of Cups, King of Swords with the Three of Wands. See, look at this energy. Something or someone definitely has some sort of hold on you or some sort of effect on you. That's that sort of mind the gap energy. Definitely be mindful of sort of unexpected energies here. There's way too much attention being sort of focused on you right now. This could be imagined with you, perceived with you, or a sort of reality with you. There's something that just doesn't make sense. It's almost like a black hole energy when it comes to you. So definitely be mindful of that. This is going to be a very interesting time that you sort of allow endings and new beginnings to happen. That's how you sort of overcome this energy. Ooh. It's a very dense energy as well. It's like dark matter energy. So some of you, watch your astrology. There's like astronomy on this. So, damn. There's a release that needs to happen. It needs to be organic when it comes to you, too. So hopefully you're doing your shadow work, Leos. Some of you with regards to relationships or partnerships, that Two of Cups. Some of you, maybe it's time you get like a health checkup as well, just to be sort of, whatever the hell you're going through, there's far more to it, and there's, it's very easy for you to just sort of be stuck or stagnant. Definitely could be the energies around you as well. So some of y'all need to choose better partners, better relationships. You need to establish some healthier boundaries here. If someone's watching you, someone's watching them watching you as well. So there's way too much sort of energy here that you don't need to focus on. So mindful sort of energy here. And definitely it's that sort of mind the gap energy. So damn. Damn, Leos. I've been in this energy for a while. So you need to sort of look at something differently. You need to understand something on a different sort of level or perspective. It's almost like don't fear the dark. Knight of Swords there with the Three of Cups. Yeah, if someone's watching you, someone's watching them watching you. So there's such a sort of dynamic energy when it comes to you, but it doesn't really have shit to do with you. Crown on that, you got the Tower energy. That's mind the gap. There's the Five of Wands. There's the King of Pentacles. And there's the Page of Pentacles. Lord have mercy. Some of y'all, you kind of don't feed that sort of energy. So this is a choice you need to make. Some of you are slowly coming out of that stuck, stagnant energy, and some of you are going to stay smack straight dab in the middle of it. If you don't make smarter decisions when it comes to who's in your energy. Basis of this, High Priestess energy. That's like an organicness with this. It isn't all that overwhelming. Some of you, it's kind of like basic astrology, basic sort of the way things are. This is like you hear the message, right? Mind the gap. This is like you know everything. You kind of get it. You sense it. There's like it's almost like a journey with you, but don't fuck up the journey before you even start. You know what I mean? This is like don't trip up before you even get going on something. Because there's good sort of energy coming your way. Damn, with that Six of Cups. There could be some resolution energy you need to be focusing on now. You got a lot of stuck, stagnant energy around you. So you're like crosswatcher vibes, or in this sort of Five of Cups energy. Lord have mercy. This is that definitely don't go down that sort of rabbit hole, that karmic sort of vibe where you stay stuck or stagnant. Some of you need better conversations when it comes to the people that you're dealing with too. You can't just sort of keep in that energy. It's a very fine line. So it's like addressing the shadow work, doing the work, and making better choices. Definitely staying more grounded and focused with that King of Pentacles energy. So you can't heal in the energy that hurt you. You can't sort of overcome if you're still smack dab in the middle of something. So, damn. The Hangman, there's the Ten of Wands. Some of you all don't want to do the work that's needed. That's what sort of keeps that ever-present vibe going with you. Definitely watch your favorite astrologer, because there's a lot of astrology on this. Some of this is just kind of like, it should be like common sense with you. Some of you definitely take care of your health, so be very mindful of that. It all comes down to what you choose to sort of put your time, energy, and attention into. Any sort of stagnant relationships or partnerships, someone knows they missed out on an opportunity with you. But this could kind of also be your energy too here, Leo. So, damn. There's some clarity that needs to come in, maybe on your part, maybe with regards to relationships or partnerships. Some of this is like a stingy vibe as well. I don't feel like you're going to get this resolution until you actually sort of look at that sort of dark-ass energy around you. It's like mind the gap. Eight of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands to the Eight of Wands. There's definitely some sort of spiritual guide on this. Some of you, this is like who's sort of controlling the narrative when it comes to you as well. So, damn Leos. Between the Hangman and the Ten of Pentacles is the Magician energy. Oh, sweet Jesus. This is almost like some of you that might have sold your soul, and then now you're kind of wondering where the salvation is coming from. So there's definitely some shadow work that needs to be done. Mind the gap energy there. There's like, there's something that just isn't quite working. This is also like black hole energy. So it's going to kind of consume you until you sort of bring the balance in that you need to bring in. So the resolute energy here. Some of y'all choosing better relationships or partnerships. I feel like you're the one that brings the balance in. It's not going to be easy. But it's gonna make some interesting choices. It's gonna require you to make some interesting fucking choices. There is no quick fix energy when it comes to this either, Leos. That's what makes the difference. Yeah, the Four of Cups. Some of you moving forward when it comes to relationships or partnerships, if you ain't sort of healing from the past, or you ain't finding some sort of way of overcoming, you're not really going to get this sort of resolution energy. Ooh, this is very deep. This is a very sort of, I don't want to say it's a dark energy when it comes to you Leos, but some of you, this is just, you're trying to avoid. But at the same token, you're going to trip yourself up because you're not paying attention to it. There's something you need to pay attention to. There's choices you need to make when it comes to relationships, partnerships. Some of you, you just keep trying to avoid it, but eventually it's going to trip you up with that mind the gap energy. There's like movement forward that's wanting to come, but some of you are going to miss out on the opportunity because you're not doing the work that you need to do here, Leos. Take what's yours, Leos. Leave what's not. Y'all have been in this sort of energy for a while. It's kind of just I don't know. You got some decisions to make. You got some decisions to make. Who is sort of creating this sort of vibe with you as well? So some of you, be very mindful of who's sort of guiding you too. So this is like the blind trying to guide the blind. This is like if you follow something, not really paying much attention to it. Take what's yours, Leos. Leave what's not. This comes down to decision making. This comes down to looking at what you need to pay attention to, especially if it's sort of like a stumbling point for you. You're never quite able to get there. This is like the step that just a proverbial you keep tripping over, because it never allows for growth, because there's so much sort of stuck, stagnant energy. There's resolution that needs to come, but you're the one that sort of brings that resolution. It's like empty accomplishments, whatever the fuck it is. There's always this sort of emptiness around it. I almost feel like this is a shared vibe when it comes to you, Leo. So, I mean, some of you, maybe it's time that you sort of switch up your friends group or switch up whatever the sort of group dynamic is. If you stay stuck in that sort of... this is just a little bit beyond a melancholy type connection. It can go dark so fast, because it's not really a very healthful, it's not really a very illuminating type of opportunity with you. It's almost like you need x-ray vision to sort of look at things from a different perspective, but you're not seeing it. So a lot of you, that's why you keep sort of tripping over yourself. I feel like there is a group dynamic when it comes to this as well, but no one's really happy. Nothing's really satiated. This is like, right, you don't drink salt water because it just makes you thirstier. It's kind of like that. There's always this sort of strife and conflict. So even in this energy, there's never sort of any enlightenment. There's never any sort of like positivity that's allowed to come in. Looking at things, you need like a more balanced sort of light and dark energy. Lord have mercy, Leos. Double 5 of Wands here. Those of you with regards to your romantic relationships or partnerships. You can't heal from a relationship or partnership if you're still in it. If this isn't romantic, some of you, it's like the friends group, the energy that you're in. It's like the same sort of recycled vibes. You need to like, you need a change of pace, because some of you, it's time for you to sort of upgrade. It's time for you to move on, but you still keep getting sort of stuck on that first fucking step, that first opportunity, because you're not minding the gap. So there's something that you need to be looking at. There's something you need to be addressing, because until you do that, any further movement forward, you're just going to keep fucking tripping over yourself. Between the Tower and the Moon, you got the Hierophant energy. Over the 5 of Wands, you got the King of Swords. There's almost like someone that keeps controlling this energy. So who is your who's sort of guiding this? So there's always like the followers, and then there's the person that's sort of leading this energy, or the person that sort of keeps that energy going. There's a type of manipulation that's going on here. Until you sort of look at things from a different perspective, until you get... Some of y'all need a better second opinion on something, and you need to find the positive. So you can't just be all fucking negative and not see the positive in something. If you're a spiritual person, this is kind of be mindful of that. If you're a praying person and it's always why God, why, but some of you aren't sort of paying attention, I feel like the obvious, it's obvious there. Whatever keeps tripping you up, you just, I don't know, you keep explaining it away as something else. There's something that you need to definitely address. Some of you, it's time for you to advance, but keeping you stuck keeps someone else in this sort of 7 of Pentacles energy. You're using somebody, someone's using you. Either way, you're not going to move from it if you don't address it. 9 of Pentacles here. Between the Hierophant and the 8 of Wands is the World card vibe. Whew, Lord have mercy. There's the Aquarius vibe underneath. So a lot of you Leos are definitely feeling more of this agitation with Aquarius moving in. So some of you pay attention to your astrology. Those of you that do and keep wondering why you keep sort of tripping up over the same thing, this feels like some sort of retrograde or some sort of transiting vibe when it comes to your energy. Ooh. Lord, for fuck's sake, Leos. Y'all been in this energy for a while. It can go dark way too quick, because this is like you're either going to move forward with enlightenment and look at the positive of things, or you're just going to keep recirculating and regurgitating that same sort of stuck-ass energy. It's almost like lighten the fuck up. Some of y'all need to see the light when it comes to something. Look at something from a different perspective. If you're a why God why person, are you actually sort of paying attention? If you pray, are you actually paying attention to the signs? And what exactly are your prayers like? There's almost a stinginess when it comes to you as well here, Leos. So if you're like internalizing everything and not really seeing the sort of the stumbling block is right there. I mean, you've tripped over this fucking thing way too many times to sort of ignore it. But at the same token, you're like, why God, why? Because you're not really seeing it. And it's obvious. It's a stumbling block for you. It always has been. There's resolution that needs to come with this, but how much of that is like in regards to a relationship, a partnership, a group dynamic when it comes to you? I don't want to say a work dynamic, because this energy doesn't really work for you. If anything, it works against you because it keeps you stuck. There's like a mastermind energy. So there's always like conflict within. There's always like conflict. Even within this sort of group dynamic, there's always that sort of conflict going. There is resolution, but some of y'all got to pay fucking attention to it. It's like the people that pray and pray and pray, but they're really not paying attention to the signs. So there's so much on this, and there's so much sort of interesting energy on this with you, Leos. But until you quit tripping over the same fucking obstacle, you're never going to get that sort of chance to move forward. It's always the same stumbling block. It's always the same stumbling block. So why God, why? And then you fucking trip and fall over the same fucking stumbling block. And it's like, it's interesting, Leos, but some of you have been in this for so long that it's almost like the black hole energy that just sort of sucks all the light and liveliness out of whatever the hell it is you got going on. If you're going through something on a spiritual level, kind of lighten up a little bit as well. And what wanted to come out was this sort of the devil there in reverse. So you can't have one without the other. If this is a spiritual sort of vibe with you, don't focus on the negative so much. So some of you, that could be the sort of change up that you need to make, especially if it just sort of keeps rearing this sort of conflict energy around you. There's definitely a group dynamic with this. So some of y'all, join a different fucking group. Find something different that's far more enlightening with you. Especially if you keep tripping over the same fucking thing over and over again. It's like mind the gap. You're wanting to start this new journey, but you trip over the steps getting on this sort of opportunity. You trip going to the car to go somewhere, right? You, whatever this sort of energy is, you're never allowed to do it because you keep sort of tripping over the same thing. And then you're asking why. This is going to be interesting, and this is going to require you to really have a change of thought when it comes to how you sort of move forward. Some of y'all need to get out of this sort of stuck, stagnant energy. Some of you, it's a codependency that really, it only works as long as you stay in it. This could be astrological with you, Leos. So watch your favorite astrologer. Take what's yours and leave what's not here, Leos. Some of you, it's like going back to the same relationship or partnership, trying to make it work, and every time it doesn't. But you're not sort of understanding that. Some of you, relationships or partnerships aren't meant to work. That's why there's always that sort of stumbling block there. There's some sort of control. There's some sort of emotional hold. There's some sort of energy that keeps you stuck. And until you look at it from a different perspective, you're not going to get unstuck. Someone sort of keeps working that vibe with you, though. Now, Leos, y'all been this energy for a while. I don't like these sort of stuck stagnant. This is karmic energy all over it, Leos. Because until you sort of realize it, this is like something you have to see and sort of get that aha moment on your own before it works. It's like if you truly believe in a higher being, you kind of feel that for a reason. There's something you need to experience so that it sort of solidifies this sort of optimism with you. You can't keep tripping over the same fucking thing and then keep wondering why. Especially if it prevents you from moving forward. This is like why the relationship or partnership never works, but you keep trying to make it work. But you keep sort of not paying attention. There's definitely some sort of codependency you need to focus on. Some of you just need to switch it up. You need to get a different sort of viewpoint. You need to, I don't know, listen to better music, listen to happier music, read happier books, watch happier television shows, look at things from a different perspective. Those of you, if you're in a group dynamic, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere, you've been sort of like in the same stuck energy for a while. Some of y'all need to switch that group dynamic up. This could be romantic relationships, partnerships. This could be friendships. This could be groups that's supposed to bring about resolution, but it kind of doesn't. You got like a defeatist energy working against you because you're obviously not paying attention to what you need to. You're always tripping over something. So whenever the opportunity comes to move forward, some of you could literally be tripping. Some of you, this could be the opportunity. The relationships or partnerships never work. There's always like some sort of conflict. There's always some sort of conflict going on. And then you're, why God, why? And it's like, do you understand? So if you're going through something on a spiritual level, there's something you're just not seeing because you're not just paying attention to what the fuck is tripping you up. What's up with this Capricorn in reverse? The Capricorn did come out in reverse. So a lot of you, this is like looking towards the more positive, looking for more resolute options and opportunities when it comes to whatever the hell you're going through. The Knight of Swords there at the Two of Pentacles. Some of you, this could definitely be astrological with you. This feels like a transiting energy. I don't feel like it's retrograde with you. This is far more intense when it comes to you. And depending upon your placements, all of your astrology is going to be different. But this is very interesting. A lot of you, that Aquarius energy definitely brings about a lot of sort of interesting switch-ups when it comes to people. Some of you aren't going to be able to stay stuck or stagnant for too long. Eventually, you're going to mind the gap. And you're not going to be tripping over the same sort of obstacles. If there's a spiritual vibe on this, you got to look for the positive. Some of y'all, watch that Jim Carrey movie where he gets the opportunity to play God. It's kind of as simple as that. Some of you are making it far more complex. Some of you are just sort of, why God, why? And the energy is right there. The obstacle is right there, but you keep tripping over it. Some of you, it's stuck, stagnant relationships or partnerships. Some of y'all need to let go in order to move forward. So you can't heal in the same energy that hurt you. You can't sort of get this sort of clarity if you're kind of recirculating the same sort of energy. Some of you just need to switch up the group's energies around you, whatever that sort of group energy is with you. Is something working or not? Are you overcoming your obstacles or are you just sort of stuck? This is, you get the opportunity for movement, and as soon as you try to move forward, there's stagnation. There's that sort of blockage energy. You keep tripping over the same fucking thing, but you're not seeing it. Some of you need to upgrade. You need to change your perspective on something. Maybe some of you go to a different meeting. Figure out if there's a way you can look at something from a different perspective. There should be good communication when it comes to you in order to overcome whatever keeps keeping you stuck. Where's the communication at with you? And does it bring resolution, or does it still just sort of keep bringing that conflict? Because a lot of you keep feeding that conflict energy and wondering why the hell you keep stumbling over the same fucking thing over and over again. I like the world vibe here with you, Leos. A lot of you trust in that sort of higher perspective, looking at things from a different perspective. It's very easy now to go down that sort of rabbit hole of feeling like everything is stuck or stagnant. This is like being mindful of the sort of fear-mongering energy, looking at things from a sort of different viewpoint. If this is spiritual with you, some of you maybe, I don't know, read a different chapter of the Bible. Look at a different sort of way of looking at religion. It shouldn't keep you stuck or stagnant. Those of you that don't think God is sort of around you, that God is sort of guiding you, those of you that might think that God is forsaking you, it is not like that at all. But some of y'all could be too fucking stubborn to basically pay attention to what that stumbling block is. There's definitely something you need to address, and until you do, you're going to stay stuck or stagnant. It's going to affect all your relationships or partnerships. Maybe some of y'all are dealing with the Scorpio energy. Some of y'all, it's that sort of mirroring energy going on here. Whew. This should be positive for you. So, Leos, y'all been in this energy for quite some time. I don't like this sort of stuck, stagnant, negative energy because you got choices to make. Some of you, the solution is there, but you're going to have to see the sort of positive side of things. Those of you, interpersonal relationships or partnerships, some of y'all, the group dynamic has changed. So, looking at things from a different perspective. But some of y'all have been on this sort of stuck cycle for a while. So, moving through that is going to be a choice that you make. Especially if you keep tripping over the same fucking thing all the time. Just when you're ready to move forward, it's the same sort of obstacle. But yet, you're choosing not to see it. Ooh, Leos, take what's yours, leave what's not. Watch your favorite astrologer. Some of you, where's the sort of enlightenment? I feel like footprints in the sand definitely applies to you, but some of you wouldn't even understand that. There's this sort of, you got to find the positive. You got to look for the hopeful. You got to be in the mood to overcome. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. This is like baptized, but damn. At the same token, you're like still trying to climb that fucking mountain. But you're missing the opportunity. So, if this is a spiritual sort of thing with you, this is like the baptismal. And then you're still trying to climb up to the top of that peak, where you're nowhere near this sort of salvation energy with you. But the thing is, there's really no obstacles. You see everything. I don't know if you can see in that, but you can kind of, you see the steps going down into the water right there. So all the clarity is there for you to see, but are you going to pay attention to it, or are you going to continually dismiss it? And then keep wondering, why, God, why? Someone keeps saying, why, God, why? But you're tripping over the same fucking obstacle, which prevents any sort of movement forward when it comes to you. Someone is definitely controlling this narrative with you. So you're either in conflict resolution or you're dealing with energies that sort of keep that conflict going. What's more beneficial? Or who's really benefiting from you staying stuck or stagnant? When this clarity finally comes for you, and eventually it will, hopefully you haven't been in this energy for too long, then you'll understand. Definitely watch your favorite astrologer. Who sort of benefits from you staying stuck, though? Some of y'all need to pay attention to that. If something works, it works. If something doesn't work, it doesn't work. Some of you should be able to have those sort of conversations. Like, where's your sort of voice of reason? Like, this isn't working. Is there another option? Is there another opportunity? Some of you switching up the group dynamics that you're in. Some of you Leos just overwhelm yourself trying to find the resolution instead of just like focusing on the positive. There's that darkness around you, and until you're able to sort of flip on the light to see the positive, you're going to keep tripping over the same fucking thing, which prevents the movement forward. So some of y'all, there's a codependency that you need to release from. But in order to do that, you're going to have to take on a very different perspective here. Take what's yours, Leos. Leave what's not. The resolution is there. I feel like if anybody, footprints in the sand definitely applies to you. But you also got to sort of pay attention as well. So none of that sort of aloofness energy. Who benefits from you staying stuck or stagnant? Some of you just need to change up the sort of group dynamics. I don't know, read a different book, watch something different, throw a little bit of positivity on whatever it is that you're doing. You sort of feed this energy or not. It's like you're looking for salvation. You're looking for like sustenance. You're looking to quench that thirst or that desire, but you're drinking like salt water. So some of y'all could be crying a lot. But that just makes you thirstier. That's why you don't drink the seawater, right? Kind of the adage, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. So if you're trying to fulfill this sort of emptiness with just any sort of relationship or partnership, that's why you keep feeding that same sort of vibe. Ooh. Leos, the energy is there wanting to come in, but it's kind of until you sort of understand it, until you see it, whatever that sort of darkness energy is that you keep sort of tripping over. Some of y'all take it to God. Look at things from a different perspective. The message is there, but damn. You're going to have to make some decisions. Some of you are making it far more complicated than it needs to be, or someone around you is making it far more complicated than it needs to be. That's what makes the difference. Some of y'all, it's the group dynamic around you as well. Take what's yours, Leos. Leave what's not. You all have been in this energy for a while. It's really so... Until you sort of realize it, you can watch 20 fucking readings that tell you the same thing, but you don't get it. Those of you, it's like footprints in the sand. You're wanting salvation. You're wanting guidance, but you're really not even fucking paying attention to that. So there's decisions that need to be made. And until you make those decisions, you're going to keep tripping over the same fucking thing. Relationships, partnerships, stagnation. Some of you, it's the fucking group dynamic you're in. So, I don't know. You've got some interesting choices. The Chariot, the Knight of Wands, the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles to the Wheel of Fortune. Those of you, just as soon as you're getting ready to start that opportunity to move forward, there's that sort of trip-up vibe. There's something you need to address in order to pay attention to something. There needs to be more clarity with the sort of decisions that you're making. This upgrade is wanting to come through. This sort of movement is wanting to come through for you. But you keep sort of tripping it the fuck up because you're not paying attention to something. Lord have mercy, Leos. Take what's yours and leave what's not. But until you're able to move from that sort of darkness energy around you, you're going to keep sort of missing out on the opportunities. Who's controlling the narrative with you, though? For some of you, you really need to kind of change up your group dynamic, looking at things from a different perspective. Who benefits from you staying stuck? So some of you, that's relationships or partnerships. As long as they can sort of dangle that proverbial carrot, you stay stuck or stagnant. Others of you, it's looking at things from a totally different sort of perspective. You have a voice of reason, but you got to make sure you're paying attention to that voice of reason. Some of you, this is like offering peace and salvation and all that good stuff. If that's sort of your energy. But you gotta allow that to come in. But who benefits from keeping you stuck or stagnant versus you moving on and being happy? Ooh, damn Leos. There's so much going on here for you. Definitely take what's yours and leave what's not. Don't make this shoe fit. There's a dynamic, there's a choice you need to make. And until you sort of realize that, you're going to keep sort of tripping over the same opportunities. If there's any sort of spiritual element on this and you're praying and you're like, why God, why? I definitely feel like footprints in the sand sort of works for you. But at the same token, you're still fucking second guess on that. Ooh, I love this energy, Leos, but damn. Some of you have been in this for so long that you're really not sort of seeing that opportunity. Who's controlling the narrative with you as well? Some of y'all just sort of switch it up, watch something new, listen to something new, look at something new, read a different book, read a different part of the Bible, look at something from a different perspective. You should be able to have a good conversation. If something isn't working for you, where do you go to sort of find the solution on this? Some of you need to switch up the dynamic that you're in. Some of you have outgrown the groups that you're in because you're just kind of regurgitating the same thing. It's not allowing you to sort of upgrade. It's not allowing you to move forward. But you need to have those conversations. And this is definitely all karmic energy with you. So some of y'all have been on this sort of karmic wheel of fortune for a while. So take what's yours, Leos. Leave what the fuck isn't. Y'all been in this for a while. So whatever keeps tripping you up until you turn the light on to see what the fuck it is, you're not going to be able to move beyond it. And that's going to be different for every one of you. So take what's yours, leave what's not. There's positive wanting to come in, but you got to sort of realize what you need to realize. Mind the gap. And then that brings this sort of forward movement. There's like no shortcut energy to this as well, Leos. For some of you, that's what's sort of keeping you stuck or stagnant. Every time you try to do a shortcut to achieve something, you realize that doesn't work. So, there's no shortcuts with this. Good luck, God bless, like, share, subscribe, Leo. Take what's yours and leave what the fuck isn't. Y'all been in this energy for a while. Release it, move on to something good. Like, share, subscribe, Leos. Whatever this is, you're the one that overcomes it. Because it's the same stumbling block. You keep tripping over the same fucking thing. So, there's something you're not paying attention to. Peace, love, and light, Leos.